Ladies, welcome back to another week of A Grateful Heart. This will be the start. I'm getting all nice and relaxed. I've got my tea. It's very hot, so I have to remember to drink it while it's hot. And I'm just gonna start my journaling for the week. I've got 7 prompts again, and the ones that I will be tackling this week, where is my prompt list? I can never find it when I want it. So we finished at home, so I've got creativity, sunshine, nature, music, life lessons, book love, and joy for this video. And I don't know whether I want to do them in order or out of order. I'm not quite sure because I want to do joy first, because I'm trying to think of less literal gratefulness things. That sounds ridiculous. I sound ridiculous. But creativity, I was sitting there thinking about it the other night because I've kind of been looking at the prompt list constantly to see what pops to mind, what comes to mind, what jumps out, what doesn't. And creativity was a strange one because I linked it to John after I've thought about it for ages, and I could have gone a million different ways on creativity, but I linked it to my husband, and that is because I feel like he brought my creativity back to me. Like I felt like I had completely lost it with the breakdown of my abusive marriage. I felt worthless. I was living in grayscale. That's how I described it. I was living in grayscale. I was so unhappy. I was terrified a whole lot of the time. I was mentally abused, all that horrible crap that comes with an abusive marriage. And I stopped creating, I stopped journaling, I stopped any form of creativity that I ever did. I stopped it all, because I didn't have it in me anymore. I had nothing left to give to the world, myself, anything, and I was just surviving for my kids. My kids were the one thing that kept me going. And I remember when John and I got together and we started dating, and we did it long distance for quite a long time. You probably all know the story of hubby and I. And I feel like that man brought my creativity back to me. Every time he drove the 8.5-hour drive to my house every week for a year, I felt like he brought a piece of my creativity back to me. And I know that sounds really silly and crazy and really sappy, but that man brought me back to life. He literally put me back into color. And I will forever be thankful for him. The reason why my Patreon is even a thing is because of my husband. He had the faith in me to push me that little bit, you know, that nudge a little bit harder than he knows when he can push hard, and he knows when he can not. And Patreon was something that he pushed on, and he's like, just try, you won't regret it, and I'm being a scaredy cat. It was like, but he has definitely brought me back to life, and with that, my creativity. And so that's the way I see it. I mean, I could have done so many different ways, but I feel like, yes, I am the woman I am today because of myself, but I attribute that to my husband for bringing back the joy and the creativity back into my life, and try and just breathe. Is that a word? Breathing. Oh my goodness, it's way too early in the morning for great. He just brought me back to life, and with that, my creativity was something that came back full force. And so I think the first one, creativity, will have to be John. I can't see past it, and there's no rhyme or reason. So I went through my excess photo drawer that I have in the studio and pulled out one of our wedding photos and just chopped it down to fit down here. I'll probably make it a tip in because it takes up so much of the page. But yeah, I'm not going to talk through all the prompts and what I think and all that sort of stuff, but I thought I'd just sort of do my little intro as I normally do when I start a video for you guys. But yeah, creativity and joy were definitely linked very firmly to my husband. And I know there'll be double ups within this, because I feel like there are like my tribe and my family and my friends, those three sort of morph and merge together because they are all very, very interconnected and intertwined. And hubby will be something that I am forever grateful for. There should have been a prompt that just said husband, but that would have been not the best if you don't have one. But I truly believe that John is a magician, and I don't know how he did it. and I'm forever grateful that he did. But he definitely brought me back to life, and with it, my creativity. And I'm forever being creative because of his love and his belief in me, and he's always encouraging me. That was the one thing that he did always. He always encourages me to be better. He always encourages me to just try it. Just try it, Bambi. You know, you don't know if you don't try it. That's like his mantra to me every other day. Just give it a go. Just try it. And he's always right. And I should stop thinking that he's never right, because he is always right when it comes to things that I'm afraid of within my business, within my art, within all that sort of stuff. He's always just saying, just try it. What have you got to lose? Just try it. You never know. And so I'll always be forever grateful for that man. I think my kids understand it. I think my kids are grateful for him. They probably aren't grateful when he's drilling them on maths homework every afternoon. But I know when they're older, they will understand that that man has truly changed the lives of us, and we will forever be indebted to him. And if I ever said that to him, he said, no, that's not it. That's not it. We are equal. You've saved my life and I've saved yours. That's how he puts it. So that's a little bit of a soppy intro for you. Now on to the creating, I guess. I grabbed a few of old photographs from my Facebook page. So some of the ones that you'll see me print now are actually from just before John and I got together. So they're about 8 years old, but I really love printing them on my Sprocket, and there's such an easy, I should probably print them on my big printer, but when I want sort of quick and easy stuff, I go to my Sprocket because it's just too easy. So I found an old wedding photo, of course, to put down as a tip in, and I'm just backing the old photo with all my bits and bobs so that I've got a place to write on the back. And I used a little collage element that was from Tisha Moore, and she had like lettering, and then I saw as I was staring at it the I do day, and because it was backed onto a wedding photo, I thought that was a cute little place to put it. I did put it down the bottom and then realized once I flipped my tip in out, it was in the wrong place. So I've just fixed that up, and I have totally enjoyed doing this. I do realize that I haven't done all of the prompts in this video. Like the life lessons one is one that I haven't actually properly done, and that's mainly because I've got a bit more pondering to do on what I want that to be centered around, because I feel like that one's a really big one that I want to actually think about and sort of listen to myself and kind of really hone in on what I'm grateful for when it comes to life lessons. I do put a little photo of Liji down reading a book, but the book love still needs a lot more fleshing out because books are such a huge part of my family. But other than that, I think most of the other little prompts are completely covered. And I love putting this little journal through its paces. It is getting quite chunky, especially with all the tip-ins, but it's holding up really well. It was my sister's birthday, and if you are on my Facebook page, you would have seen a huge post that I posted about my little sister and her turning 30 and one of the presents that I had bought her. I did video chat her on her birthday, and this is a very low quality, craptastic screenshot that I grabbed while we were chatting about something. I'm pretty sure we're laughing about the stupid rings and our stupidity, but I had to record that moment even though the photograph was completely pixelated and crappy and terribly blown out. It makes me smile just thinking about it, and that's the whole point of having these moments in your journal. It's for capturing those real life daily moments that just you don't want to forget. And I didn't want to forget the silliness of that day and the silly chat and the whole concept around Captain Planet and getting my little sister a signet ring for her 30th birthday. It makes me smile, so I wanted to make sure I documented that part in my journal. Even though it didn't really fit in with the gratitude thing, I'm grateful that my sister made it to 30. We've had a lot of ups and downs with my baby sister, and we've almost lost her quite a few times in my life, and that heart, it breaks my heart. And so I wanted to sort of document that moment with her, that she made it to 30. She's finally
she's finally turned that sort of corner, and I'm hoping that all the things that are troubling her are behind her, but I will be there with her no matter what, and I'll always be her big sister to sort of help her. I got some beautiful prints from the lovely Josie's Muse, part of her Patreon tier that I'm part of, and so I'm just adding a few little bits and bobs. I probably will tip one of her little prints into my journal, but I got sidetracked. I was meant to do that. This is a beautiful photo that I took way back when, actually right after I left my ex-husband. And I remember feeling super stressed and worried that I'd done the wrong thing, that I was breaking up my family, and a whole lot of other things. And I remember thinking that the sun looked really lovely, and it was a moment in time where I was just grateful to have gotten out of such a toxic relationship. So this photo is very meaningful, and it's probably the first time I've actually printed this photo, I think, in my journal. I feel like I haven't printed it before, but it was me just lifting my hand up to the sunlight to sort of go, it's okay, it's another day, the sun will always rise, you've done the right thing. Because I was totally believing myself that I hadn't done the right thing and that I probably should have gone back to my ex, and I'm so glad that I got a clue and didn't go back.
Hey, I was hoping you would stay, but I've always known you would go and find your own way. I still see when we climbed up in those trees, 12 years old, to feel the wind, watch the river run, and the sun would always shine. When we sat there, you and I, the river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're
I woke up this morning, in the morning of this page, and just wanted to spend some time painting. I feel like I haven't connected with my watercolors in a really long time, so I wanted to do and bring some joy back into my life, and that was one of the other prompts in the Grateful Heart, was joy. Now, painting and creating art is definitely something that brings me a stack of joy, so the process of actually painting it was the whole point for the prompt, and just being really free. And I'm pretty sure I was chatting to my mum while doing this, which is another thing that brings me great joy, is connecting with my mum every morning. But I'm using my Daniel Smith watercolors as always in my little portable palette, the little palette that could, and I'm just enjoying playing with water, being very loose, trying not to sort of think very much, but just enjoying that process of painting and really getting that joy out of making art, because I just have felt like I haven't made any not even proper art, but I haven't played, and I feel like sometimes I need to play more. And I definitely decided that day that I would bring some joy to my life, because the prompt said so I better do it, shouldn't I?
If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be. 'Cause honestly, I don't have no time to waste. I'm trying to come back to you, because now I see we were meant to be. Just tell me where and I'll come see ya. 'Cause I'm afraid that I'll end up here alone. Hope you'll understand how much I need ya. Take me back to when we were kids and didn't care if we were acting stupid, 'cause all we had was us. If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be. 'Cause honestly, I don't have no time to wait.
I'm using a mixture of coloured pencils, obviously, to sort of tighten up bits and pieces and add some shading in, and coloured pencils are definitely something that brings me a lot of joy. The watercolour and the colour pencils are my two very favourite supplies, and my favourites to just to sit and play with and just enjoy and not think about. So this was a very lovely, relaxing morning, and it was exactly what my soul needed. I didn't realize it was something I needed until I started, and then I felt my shoulders drop. I sort of relaxed a lot, and it was just, my brain needed it. My brain needed some time to just sit and play. And yes, I have scanned this finished page for collage sheets because I knew before I started journaling on top of it, once it was done, that I would be asked for it. So yes, there will be a tip in of this in your collage sheets. You're welcome.
Trying to come back to you because now I see we were meant to be. 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 You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go.
Having a little bit of trouble getting myself sort of on board today, not really feeling it, and just sort of trying to get myself into that mode where I want to create. And I think I'm coming down with another cold. So I'm feeling pretty craptastic at the moment, but I am enjoying the process of this prompt list still very much so. So that's kind of keeping me going right now. I am a little bit behind. I'm a couple of days behind, so I'm going to have to do a couple all together. Kids' school stuff has been a pain in the backside. Juggling mummyhood and work is very hard sometimes, especially when kids have projects due and costumes to get ready for the Christmas carols at school and all this sort of stuff. And we've got a lot of family birthdays coming up, so we've been trying to get all that sorted. But I'm just trying to get all my bits and bobs worked out. I did feel like sitting down and drawing and just sort of taking it all in and really enjoying some painting time, because I don't normally do that, and I thought that could be part of the part of this video as well, because that brings me joy. And even though I'm not up to the joy prompt yet, I think I will make this part of the joy one, because I get some joy. Oh, my phone's going nuts. So again, I need to turn the sound off. I get joy from doing this sort of stuff, so I thought that would be a nice little tie-in, even though I'm like, that's the last prompt that I should be showing you, but I currently just want to do, even though I love how thick those brush pens are, I can't control them, and I think that annoys me a little bit. I haven't practiced enough with them to be able to control them the way I would with a pen. I need to turn my phone sound off because all the notifications are going nuts. So but yeah, I need to do more practice. I need to spend more time with a brush pen in my hand so I can get my hand to learn how to wield it properly. But I can't get that controlled line the way I can with a fine tip pen, and I just need to be more patient, I guess. I also should have my glasses on because my eyes don't see when the nib's about to hit, or tip's about to hit the page. So I think I've got time before my pen, to position before my pen hits the page, but then I'm already on the page. But I just thought I'd check in with you guys and sort of have a little quick chat about what's going on, and that you'll probably see me create a few pages today or this afternoon or even this evening, because I've got Sam and Sian coming over tonight for a little get-together sleepover. So I'll probably work on these pages while they are here. So my lighting will probably not be the best. I may get a lamp out, see how I go. But I've got to sort of tidy up before they come, and then sort of work my prompts in there and sort of bounce some ideas off them for the character reimagining video, because sometimes I need feedback, and they are my sounding boards, especially when I've got ideas that I haven't fleshed out completely. I know what I want to do for your video, it's just figuring out the best way to show it to you, which is always my issue when I'm trying to do something creative and trying to do a tutorial and trying to do something that's inspirational and that gives you guys the most inspiration. So they will be my test subjects for ideas in how, if I'm going to do if I'm doing the idea right or if I'm showing it right. They're always good feedback for me, and I love that I've got that in them when it comes to stuff that I want to show you guys. I just haven't worked out exactly how the best format. I've got the ideas and everything, and I've got the sample ideas in my head. It's just the best format in which to show you is the only bit that's sort of keeping me from actually sitting down and filming the video. So that is that. Yeah, I'll go back to speed now and keep working on these prompts and try and get better at using this damn brush pen, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go.
These little bits of green paper are from a Sabrina Ward Harrison book, and they are one of my favorite things to sort of cut up and use in my journal. And these were little bits and pieces out of a journal entry that she had written, and they rang really true to me. So I've cut a few of my favorite bits and pieces out of that page before I threw the off bits into the bin and then added them into my journal. I love her handwriting. I love the messiness of it. I just wanted to have them stuck into my journal because they totally rang true to how I was feeling. And I'm still getting hang of this brush. I hope with time that I get better. I feel like if I'm not following an outline per se, so if I'm not coloring in a lead pencil outline, I'm a little bit better than if I was following an outline. I did discover that, but I'm still not very proficient in the ye old brush pen, let's just be honest. Now this is a stamp set from Kmart that I bought ages and ages and ages ago and rediscovered it in my pile of stuff that I was going through when I was trying to clean something up, and I was like, oh yeah. The only thing I don't love about this stamp set is there's no numbers, but I really love the blocky, chunky text. It's kind of the right size. It's probably more geared towards an A5 than a B6 because of its large nature, but I still really loved how it looked, and it gave a little bit of difference like a visual interest for my journal page. And I'm pretty sure Nature is one of the ones that Sian forgot to letter. Love you, babe, but you've forgotten a few. And she said to tell me what one she's missed and she would re-letter them for you or for us. But I said, don't worry about it. We'll figure out different ways. So I'm just creating little sketchy boxes to make some journaling boxes for myself. And just adding a few different colors to sort of get a wishy-washy. I was going for a rose tea blend, completely screwed it up, but I don't mind. I really like how it turned out, and they will be journaled in, of course. I am at the dining room table and the girls are over. That's why this video is slightly late. It's a bit later than usual because I've had barely any sleep, and we've been out having fun, and they helped me create some samples and some ideas for the character reimagination video. So this was me just having a quick play that I wanted to put this little tip into my journal. For some reason, I really wanted to create a little wizard bird. Don't know why, but I love her and she will be going into my journal. And the girls were making versions for your other video, which you'll see when I put that video up. We had a blast together. It was something that the soul needed as well. Those girls, I can never say enough good things about those two women. I really cannot, and I'm not going to sit here and gush about them because I feel like I gush about them way too often, but they know how much they mean to me and how much our little art dates mean to us. Very, very needed, especially when we're just all feeling a bit drained, really. And I think the end of the year everyone feels a bit drained, but I thought I'd pop her in since she wasn't sort of part of the video. She was just something that I created last night just to take a little mini break, so I thought I'd pop her in here for you guys to see, get a sneak peek of some things to come in the character reimagination video. It's going to be super cool. I loved watching the girls help me with samples because they see collage differently to me, and I wanted to have as many takes as I possibly could for you, so many different versions. So yeah, look out for that video. It is coming soon. And because I was in the spirit of collage, I decided to tackle the music prompt, and this proceeded to have a lot of laughter in our group because I decided to pick Hanson as my music. Yes, you may all laugh now, but I was a die-hard Hanson fan, man. I would shiv someone for Hanson back in the day, I reckon. I was a fanatical fan, and I'm not ashamed to admit it now because I've grown up and I've gotten a clue. Still love their music, still love what they stand for, but they were a musical band that sort of, and this sounds so lame, but they changed my life. They changed my life. They helped me connect with girlfriends that I had that were also fans, and they're just super, super important in my development as a teenage girl, and I absolutely love them. So I wanted to make sure that I had an homage to them for my music prompt. I know it's silly, there's probably so much more, like the song I walk down the aisle to, all that sort of stuff, but no, I picked Hanson. So I actually put their Christmas album as the body part of my little musical bird, so a little different take on the grateful thing, but I love it, and it's just something silly. It made me smile, and that's the whole point of these beautiful prompts, is to just reflect and be super grateful for things, even if it is a boy band in your high school years.
You gotta help me disappear from all those voices that I fear, and all the moments I couldn't handle 'cause I'm different. You have to promise to stay near. Oh, you're always telling me the truth. That's why I lean on you. You got the mind to see what's coming, and you're my ears when I can't hear. You know what's right from wrong, what to say and what to wear. You know there's more than I can bear. You're always telling me the truth. That's why I lean on you. Just like you know that I always do. Oh, listen now, I'll never make it, so help me pull through. Whenever I've bitten off more than I can chew, that's when I lean on you. distracted. Yeah. You put me where I need to be. An opportunity on which I never would have acted. I need your eyes when I can't see. Oh, you're always telling me the truth. That's why I leave.
I spent all this time making this tip-in and I didn't even bloody use it, so I don't know why. I thought I wanted to use a background, but I also wanted to use it as something I could journal on, so I cut out strips to write on. I did all this little prep of this tip-in, and I'm pretty sure it's sitting on my dining room table untouched. And as I'm sitting here going, why? I was going to put the head on it and I was going to put his body at the bottom, and then I got completely carried away and did something completely different with that character because I was playing with that reimagination and trying to create alter egos and stuff like that. I can't believe it. Anyway, I decided to get my stamps out the very next morning. It's very early in the morning, and the girls and I were up bright and early so we could go op shopping and look for some books and things. And I wanted to sort of put that life lessons tip in together. Even though I hadn't done the journaling, I still wanted to have a place in my journal for it. And I also have a picture from Miss Potter, which is Beatrix Potter, the movie that was based on her life, and I put that into my book love section. Again, I didn't actually put this on camera because I lost my photo in the paper hoard because there is a lot of paper. I've got this tiny little space on the dining room table and the rest is paper chaos. The girls had paper chaos. It was just crazy, but it's exactly what the heart needed. So I'm totally enjoying this whole process and trying to work out and have a play and work out how I want my tip-ins to go, because I don't want to have like one prompt per page. I want to get as many prompts on the page as possible. So I'm just really enjoying having fun and trying to work out ways to be creative with this. And I love how the big font looks against the Scrappy Bird and the little picture of Boo. I'm really enjoying myself with this whole journaling process, and I've been enjoying sort of sitting and taking moments to sit and think. I know that sounds really silly, but I really have enjoyed those quiet moments where I'm sitting at the table with my cup of tea and I'm writing my actual journaling. I don't show the journaling part on camera because there's just no point watching me slowly write as I think about things, but this has been really good for my heart, this whole prompt thing, and I'm really grateful that we're doing it because it's really helping me think about things a lot more deeply and to sort of start thinking about things in a glass half full instead of half empty, which was the whole point of this when I started it, and it's definitely working.
It's not that you're timid, no one could say, choosing to walk with the gale. What shall we call us, hobos per se? We'll find that out on the way. So let us just do my love and not stop thinking of this over. Let us just do my love and see where this road will take us now.
So that is all for today's video. I hope you're enjoying the whole weekly take on my journal with the Grateful Heart prompt list. Are you going very well with it? Is it something that you want to do? Have you been enjoying doing it? Have you feel like things are shifting emotionally for you or just helping you see things a bit differently? I thought I'd just sort of show you the pages as they're being built at the moment. I am totally loving the whole process of this. But let me know down below if you're enjoying this series and if you're actually doing it as well. Are you doing them in order or are you doing them out of order? But I hope you have a wonderful weekend, Inkies, and I will see you on Wednesday for another video. Take care. Bye.